Yeah, great. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I suggest we can start now, more or less. First of all, I really would like to thank everyone who is participating to this meeting. It's a great pleasure you're all here, and I promise you it's going to be an interesting webinar. I'd like to inform you that the webinar is going to be recorded and then it is going to be uploaded to our site for some other people to have to watch it later on, along with the presentations. I hope you don't mind that. Who I am, my name is Dimi Filipov. I am the responsible for the internationalization of Cluster Sofia Knowledge City. It's a Bulgarian organization based in Sofia. And this project, this webinar is within the project called European Technology for Sustainability, or ET4S. This is a project partially co-financed by the COSME program of the European Union, and it's within a very big consortium called Smart City Tech Partnership. There are several European countries in it, and this is a project that aims to stimulate European small and medium companies get international. And there are two directions within the project. One is the North America, and the second one is Asia. Our cluster is responsible for the direction of Asia, and this is part of efforts of this me and my colleagues. So we try to help European companies get international. So this project wouldn't be possible without our partners from Taiwan. They are one of the biggest research and development institute in the world, a very powerful organization called Industrial Technology Research Institute. It's of Taiwan. It's a very big organization with a lot of activities. And our partner there is Miss Eddie Wang, who is also my colleague and my dear friend. We know each other for several years already. And that webinar wouldn't be possible without the efforts of Eddie, who helped a lot with all Taiwanese connections. So the idea of the webinar is to try to share with European organization and Taiwanese organization the way we work in the area of digital transformation. Well, digital transformation is a very base topic, like information. We all know we come from pre-computer era, like myself, and now everything is with computer around us. There are plenty of new technologies, and the business must adapt with that. And there are great opportunities if it is applied in the right way. Perhaps very few of the audience know that there are about over 50% of every new investment in the year is in digital transformation. So a lot of money is put there, and unfortunately only 25% of all projects are successful. And that's the reason we have chosen with Eddie some of the successful organizations that are already have some results to share with us their way of working, and hopefully we could find some common ground for common work in the future, which is actually the globalization is the future of the society, contemporary society. So I think this is all I had to tell about the project. I covered most of the topics. That's why right now I'm giving the floor to my colleague, Eddie Wang. Eddie, please go ahead. Eddie, you there?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Thanks to Timmy. Good morning in Europe, right? And good afternoon in Taiwan. Yes, as Timmy said, yeah, I'm 81 from the Commercialization and Industrial Services Center of Industrial Technology Research Institute. We call it ITRI, E3. E3 is the largest research sector with more than 6,000 employees in Taiwan. And we had a lot of collaboration with research sectors in Europe, like Fraunhofer, like VTT, TNO, and like the research sector in Czech Republic and Spain as well. It's my great honor to work with Timmy and colleagues from CSKC again to welcome you all here. Taiwan and the EU webinar, as Timmy just mentioned about, that's initiated by Timmy, CSKC, and supported by E3 from Taiwan. Today is the third webinar for building the collaboration between Taiwan and the EU. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Timmy. Without his effort and the support of his team, we could make today's event come true. Even, yeah, well, we postponed from the April to today because the pandemic issue. So secondly, I would like to thank to all speakers and the distinguished guests from Europe and Taiwan. Thank you very much for taking out your busy schedule to join today's event. Hope we can, yeah, exchange information and create some new business model or the opportunities between both sides. The goal of the digital transformation is to effectively support decision makers and his team to simplify operation process and enhance the company's competitiveness. Thus, will integrate every level and the department in the modern organization and leverage its smart technologies to provide organization with the necessary tools to stay companies competitive. Following the impact of a pandemic and the trend of supply chain restructuring, digitalization has become an important issue to the business world. According to the survey of McKinsey, more than 60% of companies are thinking about how to start with a digital transformation journey. Therefore, how to work together and create the business opportunities is the purpose of today's event. We are very happy to have 7 speakers with us today. 3 from Taiwan side, Eric Lin from Western Europe, and Nancy Xu from QCT, that's a Quanta, and Tim Low from Translate will give us a briefing about what products or services or the solutions that they can provide. Digitalization and internationalization has become the key factors to the SME. The domain of digital transforming includes many different technologies, such as AI, robot, or the cloud computing, or the sort of software together and the services together. So I wish you all will be able to learn more by today's event and work hand by hand to create the business opportunities in the near future. I hope the pandemic will be gone soon and we will be able to meet each other in person. Hope today you will be able to get a very fruitful information and learn from the companies, the services or the products that they provide. So I think I got to save the time for the speakers. So please stay safe and have a great day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for the great presentation. Again, you're always perfect. Thank you for the kind words as well. I really appreciate them. Uh, I just forgot to mention there is going to be a business mission in Taiwan once the pandemic is over. So you can count this webinar as a prelude to this mission, like a
Yes.
presentation, and to see everything that is possible. It is a great country with a lot of opportunities there, with very curious people there. And I urge European companies to go there and to speak business with all those people and those company, wonderful guys there from Taiwan. Thank you again,
Good.
Eddie. So
Thank you.
I suggest now we start with our first and only lady in the presentation team. I suggest Miss Nancy Su from Quanta Cloud Technologies to start presentation about her company. Unfortunately, she has COVID, and she is not going to be visible for us, but we're going to listen to her. Please, Nancy, have the floor.
Thank you. Okay, I think you can see my screen. Again, this is Nancy from QCT Quanta Cloud Technology. I don't usually sound like this because I'm currently COVID, but please bear with me, there will be some cough background noise during the presentation. I try to avoid them. Today's topic is about drive digital transformation through 5G private network. So we will share some information to you in my later slide. Okay, before I jump into the solution itself, I would like to give very brief introduction about who we are, who is QCT, and QCT is actually belong to the marketer company Quanta Computer, and Quanta Computer is one of the largest ODM manufacturer in the world, focused on IT, cloud, laptop, smartphone, and a lot of devices ODM manufacturer. QCT here is using the x86 server manufactured by Quanta to validate and implement the solution. So our company established in 2012. The current solution covers HPC, AI storage, telco, and 5G campus network, which is the 5G private network. Okay. And this is our global footprint, because we are talking about the collaboration in EU, Europe. So we have one sales office in Germany, Düsseldorf. We have another system and rack integration center near Aachen. And I will be there in the end of May till end of June. We'll talk about that later. And here is Taiwan, our headquarters, which we're located. So Quanta actually is focused on the ODM. Our product, especially server product, covers from the data center to the edge. So if you have the requirement on the server, data center server or edge server or outdoor server, you can still contact with us. What we can do is we help the customer to build up the solution into the rack. To those customers for the data center, imagine like the football size, if we can put all the solution in the rack, that will be help them to efficient the data center implementation. And QCT here, what we do is we use the server to validate the ISV software, including the platform and the workload. We also have the knowledge and know-how about the workload, so we can help the customer to validate the server based on their requirements on the workload and help them to find the optimized configuration. And on the other hand, we also have the turnkey solution, which is for private 5G and for the data center or HDR center for medical, education, manufacturing, and so on. But today, as our topics talk about digital transformation, I put private 5G as main topic, so we are going to focus more on the private 5G. Okay, but I think before I talk about private 5G, I would like to ask the audience or ask myself, like what 5G actually brings to you, because 5G right now is not a new term. It is happening and it has been happening. So what's the benefit 5G brings to you? It's like it gives you faster throughput that you can download the movie within a few seconds, or several hundreds per person can see a football game without latency. Of course, those are the benefits that 5G can bring you to. However, for me, there are a lot of potential that 5G can actually bring to the enterprise or different venue. 5G to me is that they can connect with a lot of application and devices wirelessly. And then meanwhile, it will transmit the data back to the data center or to the edge to process some real-time analysis, process the data, do the machine learning, and eventually form up the automation. And the end goal is to achieve the efficiency and accuracy. So I think we've heard a lot about smart factories, smart healthcare, and what it can connect with each other or what it can actually form up. I think 5G is the major driver to it. So why we need to think about the private 5G? What's the differences between private 5G and public 5G? Later on, I will share more real use cases that we complete in our POC project. But before that, you might want to know that if the thing, the UE is movable, then the mobility, the private 5G support the mobility to the factory or to the venue. It gives the venue higher security on the communication. They also give the end customer flexibility to adjust the quality of equipment. And also, based on different application, it can provide higher throughput or lower latency to achieve the application requirements. It can be also deployed in indoor and outdoor. But what's the difference between public 5G and private 5G? Sometimes if it's the factory or if it's the medical care, they don't want to share the data to the public. In that case, the closed loop network will maintain or ensure the security issue. And also, if the application that require more uplink than downlink, the end user, if they utilize the private 5G, they can also have the flexibility to achieve so. This is one of the use cases I would like to share with you about the utilize the private 5G and the factory. And this is an actual real case. In this case, the production line, they want to monitor the danger zone aside of the robotic arm here. So they put IP camera above the robotic arm. And we all know that some of the IP cam, they have the AI chips that can do the facial recognition or detect the object. However, those kind of IP cam is quite expensive. And what we do is we put a UCPE here with the AI chipset. One UCPE can connect with 4 IP cam. In that case, it saves the IP cam's cost. And it achieves the people detection. So if the intruder inside this danger zone, it will detect by the UCPE, and then the people will be detected, and the photo will be captured and transmit back to the application server at the site by 5G. And then the application server will send a command line to the robotic arm and ask robotic arm to stop. Within the cycle, the round trip time is less than 100 milliseconds. In that case, it utilized the 5G short latency characteristic to transmit the people, the facial, the intruder's photo here. And one of the benefits is that the IP cam won't be continuously send the streaming back to the application server by 5G signal. In that case, a lot of uplink throughput can be saved for other usage. So we also put 2 other use case application here. One is the quality inspection, and the other is the AR goggle for repair. And there are some more use cases we did for manufacturer side. For example, the AMR. When we talked previously, the private 5G gives the mobility to the user equipment. So if the factory, like this kind of factory, there's AMR moving around, using the private 5G can give the signal security without any interruption. And the other use cases like AR goggle, it will give the operator can wear the AR goggle and see the SOP from their goggle. So it actually gives the accuracy of the SOP and also provide the production efficiency. So these are the 5G use cases we currently work with our partner in Taiwan. We also complete a lot of POC projects in Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and Singapore. What I want to say is the 5G is really happening. However, for the enterprise use cases or the factory use cases, there are a lot of things need to be found and need to be collaborated with between different partners. A lot of technology is still evolving, and what we try to do is before we promote the 5G to the end users, we have to show the benefits of the 5G to the end customer. That's why we collab with different ecosystem partners here to understand the different verticals know-how. We also understand the end customer pain points, and then collaborate with each other to incubate some reference use cases and actually validate them in the real side. We have the QCT Open Lab here. We also will have one in Germany, and we are open to the ecosystem partner to bring their application to our lab and test with the 5G infrastructure, QCT 5G infrastructure. And what we provide is the 5G total solution from the 5G RAN to 5G core. In that case, the end customer, if they want to build up their own 5G, they can just purchase this set of the solution. And we can understand their pain point and expectation. And from the collaborate ecosystem partner, we can give some suggestion on the use cases. Okay. And yeah, I think this is going to be my last slide. We will visit Hanover, Mass. In the end of May to June, early of June. We don't have booth there, but we will visit there. So if you or any of your team is interested in private 5G topic or 5G application, feel free to contact with us. We can have some discussion about that. We will also join the Automatica in Munich in the end of June. We will collaborate with our ecosystem partner TM Robot to have a booth there. In that booth, we're going to present the SOP instruction by HoloLens, the use case. So if you happen to be Automatica, please feel free to step by to our booth. And start from June, we will have the 5G Open Lab and Düsseldorf is open for the partner collaboration. The partner is welcome to bring their application to our lab and test with our 5G infrastructure. So here I have my contact information here. So again, if the enterprise 5G or private 5G topic is interesting to you, please feel free to contact with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nancy. I'm not an expert, but this is the first time I've heard about the private 5G network. It's definitely something very interesting and very exciting about the possibility that provides. I really hope there are going to be people that are going to contact you after this presentation. Now we continue with Professor Simeon Stoyanov, who is going to tell us about the Bulgarian Supercomputer Discoverer Supercomputer. Is Qct Bulgaria is the organization. It's a subsidiary of Sofia Tech Park. It's a big tech park in Sofia. Please, Professor Stoyanov, have the floor.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. I can see my slides.
Hello? Yeah, it is. We can hear loud and clear.
Okay,
and
perfect. Thank you.
Your slides. Please go.
So what I'm going to present today is about Bulgarian supercomputer, which is called Discoverer, and it has been inaugurated by the end of the last year, so it's freshly operational and accepting customers. So what I'm going to present today is about saying a few words about capabilities of Discoverer in terms of hardware, etc., which will be quite quick. And then we are going to talk about what we can do with this supercomputer and how we can use it, because I think is the most important element. We're also going to go by the end of the month in ISC to Hanover, so might be a good opportunity to meet with you guys as well. Okay, so let's me start. So the Discoverer. As been said, the Discoverer is situated in the campus of Sofia Tech Park. On the top left, you can see the building, which is purposely built for this one, including security, infrastructure, electricity supply, UPSs, etc., which I'm not going to touch. And in the bottom, you can see kind of a nice photo of the supercomputer. So the Discoverer is a petascale supercomputer, and his performance is 4.6 petaflops. It's part of Euro HPC supercomputer network, which in Europe, these are 7 supercomputers. 5 of them are petascale, like Discoverer. Discoverer, by the way, is the smallest one. And there is a 2 pre-exascale supercomputer. So 4.6 petaflops maintained performance and around 6 petaflops peak performance. When we tested last year, it's been, say, 91st place in top 500 most powerful supercomputer in the world. So it's a decent supercomputer. As I said, it has been funded by EuroHPC, a joint undertaking, which they basically provide 35% of the funds, and the rest 65% being provided by Bulgarian government, which reflects also on use policy. PETA SC is a legal consortium between several entities, including Bulgarian Academy of Sciences. All of the entities in consortium have like around 15 or plus years experience in operating supercomputers in Bulgaria. So it's not the first supercomputer at the moment. This is the fastest one. Why have built it and what is the mission and vision for Discover? The first things, I mean, obviously this is very expensive infrastructure, and with the current electricity prices also quite expensive to operate. So it should actually add a lot of benefit for the society, and this is our main purpose. So people really clearly can see how it can contribute to their improving their way of life. The second and quite important element is also, that's why it's situated in Sofia Tech Park. It's facilitating the links between the business and academics and fostering innovation, which is a kind of trivial, but also reflected the way we plan to operate the Discover. So it's not going to be just pure academic infrastructure. It's going to be operated also as a commercial infrastructure, including, say, very tight rules and predictability of access, and also enterprise firewall security. So for the business, it's quite interesting, and we can guarantee that the information which is going to be put on Discover and also calculated is going to be safe and secure. And last but not least, I mean, we also planning Discover, as I think it's a great training platform for the next generation IT talent and people which need to learn how to operate supercomputers for the next generation. So there's a couple of extensions coming on Discover. One is GPU partition. So the moment is purely CPU based, but also quantum simulators and quantum partition. And we also participating in several programs with the European Union. One of them is EuroHPC, master program for HPC students in Europe. So basically across several universities, we are going to do the training for the next generation of the talent. Okay. What about the specification? Just very briefly. So Discover at the moment is built by Atos and is based on Bull Sequano platform. So the core of compute nodes are distributed in 12 liquid-cooled racks, each of them having, let's say, 32 nodes. Each of these nodes has, 32 blades, and each of these two blades has 3 nodes per blade. So in total, you have 1,128 computing nodes. Each of these nodes is equipped with 2 AMD EPYC processors, so the latest generation of AMD. Each of them has, let's say, 64 physical cores. Most of the nodes has 256 gigabytes of memory, and you also have a FAT nodes which having, say, 1 terabytes of memory. So in total, the Discover has 144,000 physical cores, which is then they could be used for various types of calculation. The total size of memory is around 30 terabytes, and you have a central storage. At the moment, this is 2 petabytes, high performance parallel storage by DDN. And by the end of the year, we plan to expand it to 10 or 20 petabytes for the longer term storage and cold storage. You have 2 additional racks, which are basically infrastructure management, including the enterprise firewalls by Palo Alto. Another important element, I mean, like most of the supercomputer, the network is quite special because the network is second element which defines the supercomputer. Apart from having, say, a lot of very powerful servers or nodes, I mean, then you need to communicate very fastly. So the network is InfiniBand network of 200 gigabits per second using Dragonfly technology, which guarantees a kind of optimal connection of node to node with minimal latencies and high throughput. Discover has also power supply, all the backups necessary for supercomputers. So we have a UPS of 1 megawatts, and the second UPS, which mainly for supporting the infrastructure of 200 kilowatts. So in total, the Discover is just like big infrastructure, 30 tons, and with including all supporting infrastructure is going to consuming like 1.4 megawatts. Again, it's coming to my main message. It's very expensive to build, but also very expensive to support. So definitely need to be utilized the best way for society and for the business and communities. Okay, what type of software? So what are the capabilities in terms of running applications on Discover? In terms of open source software, I group them by several areas. We have, say, kind of all the major open source stacks on bioinformatics and genomics, and in brackets you can see some of the names of them. Computational quantum chemistry, molecular dynamics, mesoscale modeling, Monte Carlo. Pretty much you can find these basically packages on almost any supercomputer in the world, and they've been optimized. And the important element is not just to install them. You need to optimize for your local infrastructure in terms of, say, CPUs, and also in terms of network connectivity and things like this. So computational fluid dynamics, finite elements, and last but not least, all the packages which are related to big data analytics, AI, so libraries and packages which people are using regular basis, and everything else could be installed on Discover, given that there is a license, so there is a kind of open source license to install. What application were the major customers? I mean, in terms of areas, so we have a lot of interest from in silico drug discovery, which is not surprised given the COVID pandemic, including, say, vaccine, new drugs, etc. There's a lot of activities in Bulgarian community in Europe. So we have a couple of projects which are looking at screening, say, new drug formulations. Structure property prediction and molecular discovery. Again, this is another big area. How can discover molecules for the future, for sustainability? Can you make polymers which are not fossil-based? Can you make a polymer or do adaptation on these polymers, which allows you to get a better functionality using less of the material, etc. and etc. So, say, several big projects, and Bulgaria is very strong in these areas, which people are basically using the supercomputer for purposes like this. Another big area which is coming, mainly, say, in the world, not only in Europe, is digital product formulation or silico formulation. So you want to formulate products without using, say, trial and error approach. So as much as you can do basically on computers and do optimizations of product properties, including costing, etc., etc. So it's a heavy problem, and more companies like Unilever, P&G, Nestle, I mean, they're into this one, and we have a couple of collaborations with guys like this, where we use helping them to do their digital formulation in silico. Another big kind of chunk and topic, we're collaborating not only with Bulgarian Institute for Weather, but also, say, a couple of companies which need, say, kind of local weather forecasting. So it's a climate and weather forecasting, including environmental modeling and impact and scenarios, where we, at the moment, we are building and trying to offer this type of services, I mean, as a service. So effectively, the customers don't need to run anything on the supercomputer. We're developing the middleware where they can effectively, from their normal computers, iPhone, telephones, or whenever, they actually can get the information, given they have access to this one. So this is quite a big area at the moment in the area of HPC. So building as much as possible HPC as a service, so that the final customer don't need to understand the packages you can see on the top, and they don't need to understand how to optimize them, how to run them. They're really interested on the outcome. And this is a big trend at the moment in HPC, and we are putting quite a lot of efforts behind building, say, services like this. And last but not least, this is also simulated environments, digital twins in the context of civil engineering, smart cities, name it. So we are both having a couple of projects with the big municipalities in Bulgaria in this area, but also actively try to build our capabilities in the area of digital twins, especially in the context of smart cities. They're coming expansion of Discover by the end of the year, where we're going to build, say, also a quite powerful GPU partition, which allows us to vastly to expand the capabilities, because many of these actually require GPU partition. Currently, Discover is purely CPU based. And last but not least, I mean, all the data, all the interests which people are putting in efforts in fintech, market techs, and all the context of digital, big data, and artificial intelligence. So I have a couple of projects with Bulgarian companies which are working with the companies based in US on market modeling, predictions, and things like this. So this is kind of in brief, what are the capabilities and what are our current projects. And the last what I want to share is how Discover could be used jointly, including say for people outside Bulgaria and outside European Union. So because the Discover is co-funded by European Union and also by Bulgarian government, it reflects also its use policy. So 35% of resources are dedicated for projects which are run by Euro HPC. So meaning they have say kind of join network of applications and running say allocations of the resources. I mean, there's also it's our own call. I mean, you have several types of projects. I mean, one of the regular projects which require quite heavy HPC type of resources, which is 80% of the resource going to this type of project. Otherwise, you're wasting the capabilities of infrastructure. You really need to find projects where you can optimize, maximally utilize the capabilities of infrastructure. There's a certain number of projects which are benchmarking, and the idea is before somebody gets a huge resource on supercomputer, they need to validate this one. So in terms of scaling, optimum resource requirements, etc., etc. So first, this is the way it goes. First, typically, users are getting like a benchmark access to validate, and then can go to the regular access. And also, small part of this one is dedicated to projects which are aimed at software development, so kind of next generation packages for HPC and their benchmarking, which is also important element. And there's a small type of projects which is a kind of discussed. I mean, they're what called fast track projects, and you really need to prove the urgency, and sometimes you can get access to this one without going to a complex procedure of applying for the resource. But this is what I said, this is applied for both 30% of your HPC resource, but also 65%, which is Bulgarian resource of Discover. And on top of this, this is so-called 80-20 split, because this is built by government funding. 80% plus of the resources should go for these projects, which are kind of open, published, either for academics or for public institution. And 20%, up to 20% can go for the business. And it applies for both the resource of Euro HPC and also the resource of Bulgaria. So for example, if you want to do a business, you still can use the 20% of resource infrastructure to make business-to-business projects. So you come with an idea, or we decide something we need to use, and then we can discuss. And you don't have to go to complex application process, which is required when you're getting a free public resource. So this is important. Another important clarification, that this 80-20 split is per year base, meaning that on average, by the end of the year, you can use up to 20% of the resource of Discover for business. But it doesn't mean that if there's an urgent project which requires huge computational resources for short period of time, you can get much more. I mean, even depending on the urgency and the business interest, we can actually allocate 100% resource of the machine for the business, given that at the end of the year, on average, we keep this 80-20 split. As I said, this also applies for our 65% of Discover, and this is, I think, what is interesting here. So we can do projects, either business or research project with partners from every partner, I mean, every place in the world, given the simple restriction that these projects need to be kind of not military based and other things which come with when you're getting, say, resource by the government. And as I said, these projects could be either purely academic based, could purely business based, could be a mixture of them, and you can apply either for 80% free resource, given that all the data is published and used for non-business purposes, or for 20%, given you want to do a business and want to make patents and things like this. It's more or less what I want to share. So I think it's a great capability and great tool we can use. It's situated in a Sofia Tech Park, and also our idea is the companies, either they're purely Bulgarian IT companies or other entities which are located in Sofia Tech Park actually can use this resource with a kind of on-edge speed of access. I mean, in the campus, we can build links up to say 100 gigabits. The Discover connectivity for the outside world at the moment is 100 gigabits. But say if the specific company come on site on the campus, they can have very fast access to the Discover infrastructure, which is important again in the context of big data and other type of projects. So that's it in short. Hopefully it was interesting, and I'm very happy to answer questions, or afterwards, please contact me by email.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Stoyanov. It was a very interesting presentation. I've always been wondering what do supercomputers do actually, and I think the last part was very interesting to me. Particularly now I know how they work and why they work. It was very interesting. Thank you very much for your presentation. So I suggest we move on with Mr. Tim Lu, who is a general manager of Transnet. And these are another Taiwanese companies from our partners. Please, Mr. Lu, have the floor.
Can you hear my voice?
We are hearing your voice.
Yes, I'm trying to share my
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I'm open it. Tell me about
We still can't see anything.
Tim, please open your camera.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can see you.
Okay. Can you hear my picture?
We can see you, but we cannot see anything on the screen. We just see
okay.
you.
Share your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already share my screen.
If you'd like, we can share our screen, your presentation from here. If you have
Okay.
troubles to do that. So
I already tried to share my screen.
yeah.
I don't know how come I cannot. You cannot see the picture. I try once more. Okay. If
Okay.
cannot, then
please take
please
your time.
help me to do this.
Sure.
In the button, I think
Yeah.
the icon is in the button, the share screen.
I already have the green button. I will push it, and then I cannot see the. I also go to my screen later. Should be not so difficult.
If you cannot control that, probably Dimi will be able to help you to control the slide.
Okay. So Dimi, can you help me
Yeah,
to
yeah.
show the background side from your side?
Just a second. I'll try to share. Yeah, I'll try to share it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about this.
No, that's okay. Yeah, try. Let me find where the presentations are. Just a second. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Great.
said
You just tell me next slide. Next, I am going to
Okay.
move the slides.
yeah, thanks. So it is my pleasure to be invited to share to brief the translate. Okay, before moving on, the translate means is transformation of a network. So it's quite similar to the topic of the digital transformation, because the founder of our organization, my mother company will be the Alpha. Alpha is similar like the Guangda, is the famous OEDM company. They are strong in the production, but normally we are not the famous because we are non-branding the company, so nobody knows what we are doing. Because we are trying to have more, advanced the product in order to be welcomed worldwide. So that's why we try to set up a small company like a system integrator as a translator. This translator will be tried to integrate not only the Alpha product and also some third-party product in order to be a solution. Then we can to promote to worldwide. Okay, so later I'll start to brief our organization and also the Alpha the strength portion. Okay, so please go to next page. Yeah, so you can see the organization, the from the top will be the BenQ on the Kista. Kista then have the 60% more the share of the Alpha. Then Alpha set up the translator with 100% owned by themselves. So they are trying to ask the translator to do some the business based on their available product. Then try to welcome the other product to be integrated together as one solution for the market. So right now we have some the solution will be based on like a smart building, smart campus, city, factory, and the hospital. Okay, it's the main mission to bring all the mother company product and also integrate the other companies the advantage product as a solution. Okay, so next, thanks. Okay, if you look at this picture, it's quite complicated and not easy to understand, because from our company, mother company Alpha, we have some vision. In the past, we are the non-branding company, so we design quite many different product. But from our company point of view, okay, all the product can be integrated into the market based on, especially in vertical. So based on vertical, we already have some the product for the satellite. So like a satellite station, we also have some product can do, and also the end-to-end 5G solution. Besides that, we also have the optical solution like a fiber to the home solution product, and also the switch product. So we are trying to cover all, not radio part and also the fixed line and the fixed wireless together. Then also from end-to-end. But you can see we already involved on most of the part of the telecom portion. But the only pity, our product is not have very strong the software, okay, to have the end-to-end at this moment. So that's why we want to promote our company. And if you are in the Europe or US solution, you can approach us. Then based on your software or based on the solution, then we could try to cooperate to find out the better solution for your needs. Okay, so next page. So based on the previous one, the Alpha already have the several BU. So the BU will be cover mobile enterprise, mobile broadband part. So it's mainly for 5G. Besides that, we also have the left the corner, we have the mobile enterprise solution. This part will be focused on the millimeter-wave, the LiDAR. Because right now we have the 24 giga, 77 giga, and the 79 giga radar. The module can be integrated into the car and also other like the ship. Okay, to have some detector signal. On top of this, we also have a digital camera. We also have fusion of the radar and the camera. So we are not use this for car application and also like a doorbell. So some of the famous US company, they leverage all the strengths of both the radar technology and the video surveillance technology, put them together. So in the future, because in the past they use a typical IR, the infrared, the sensor, but it's not so because there is some weakness of the temperature. So during the winter period, they are probably cannot work well. So that's why they need another radar to help them to clearly identify once the object approached, they can recognize it. So right now we have this kind of advanced product just launched in this year for US market. Then besides, we also have some broadband product like the POM. So right now we have different kind of the ONT like 10G and also 2.5G. Also at LAN switch, PoE. Then on the right side, we have some the multi-access edge computing and all the home design, because we are also focused on the 5G the technology. Okay, please move the. Okay, on the top side also have the different kind of Wi-Fi. So from Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 6E, we have all these kind of Wi-Fi product and also have mesh Wi-Fi. We follow Wi-Fi easy mesh Wi-Fi standard. So right now we have Wi-Fi the R2 the technology. Okay, so it's overall of the Alpha product portfolio for your reference. Okay, so Dimi, please next page. Okay, like the QCT mentioned before, because right now we are talking about the private 5G. It's interesting from the Taiwan government. We do believe the frequency liberalization is a very interesting topic, because in the past, frequency always owned by government, and they are only allowed the carrier service provider to own the frequency to launch the service for for the subscriber. But some missing part is from the enterprise, like the vertical market. They cannot have their own the frequency band. So that's why they have to take the typical the band. For example, the Wi-Fi and also some LoRa band, like a low band technology. But this kind of band is not dedicated for LAN, so will be easy to influenced by the others. So that's why very difficult to apply for the mission critical service. Based on this, Taiwan government select Alpha as their pioneer company to design the typical O-RAN product. So right now, the Alpha have the option 7.2, the O-RAN the technology product, purely designed by the Taiwanese R&D people. So since 2017, we start to join this program funded by the Taiwan government. So from the 2021, we start to have the POC. Then we will do some POB. Based on our company understanding of this product, we do invest a lot, but that could not be the mature enough at this short period. And we need more time to be, how to say that, to more practice, more the field, the practice in order to improve, to be a more the solid product for a market. So right now we are keep working on this. So if you have some the requirements, early stage requirements, we could support like a POC, POS, because we think our product could be the powerful enough for mass production probably from the 2024. Yeah, it's our overview. Based on this, we have two strengths. One, right now the Taiwan band selected by the private band will be 4.8 to 4.9 gigahertz. So that's why all the technology can select the different pro band, because besides the N78 band, we can do N79 different band. So it's our RF technology. Based on this, because Qualcomm could not have the SoC, so no chipset to support. So that's why we have FPGA design pretty owned by local team. So once your company, your country needs some the private 5G solution, we could be your supporter, because based on the frequency, allowed, authorized by your government, probably different to the standard band. So we can do customize to meet your frequency band requirements. Besides that, okay, for the typical way for the carrier, most of the band will be the downstream, but very limited because TDD limited the bandwidth for the upstream. So normally it's difficult to then to customize for different application. But for us, it's all the the advantage because all designed by us. So once the application, they need more high uplink, so we can customize the slot for then in order to meet your requirements. So these two strengths could be all the future the advantage for you. Okay, it's an overview for all the idea about the private 5G network. Okay, so please next one. So I think you can see the whole of our product will be covered 5G part. Okay, so next one. Thanks. So this one is quite similar because we are like the 5G centric the solution. So it's not only for all for the vertical the requirement like the QCD mentioned before. Okay, so we are similar. So the 5G is just provide the wireless platform. Besides this platform, on top of this, the 5G the end-to-end platform, a lot of unique services could be applied, like the smart factory. They probably need the AGV, they need the AMR, they need the AOI. So up to the end users, their own requirements. So we can based on our available the end-to-end 5G solution to provide the service. Okay, so next page. Okay, so this one is more clear. From the left side is like a factory or the public safety, the like a smart city. Then we have some CPE. CPE we can have the typical FWA, the fixed wireless access product. We also the IoT gateway or the dongle or the MIFI. All the equipment that can be have the connection to the RU. So right now we have different types of RU. So radio power we have indoor, the 4x4 the MIMO solution for the 200 millivolt for the indoor. Then we also have outdoor. We have 1 volt and the 5 volt the outdoor solution. So this will be the radio unit based on the ORAN, the Open RAN the requirements to design is option 70.2. Okay, besides we have a CUDU. CUDU depends on the capacity. We can have integrated box or we can have separated box up to the capacity. But normally right now, because for POC and the POS is small scaled, so that's why we put the all-in-one the solution in order to to manage the more cost-effective solution for the early stage trial. Then we also have our own MEC. Okay, so on top of is a lot of the product belong to the alpha can be applied to. Okay, so next one. Okay, so the next one is the end-to-end solution for requirements to show. Okay, I will not specify indeed because it's typical for reference. Okay, so the next one. Okay, it's important because normally we talk about end-to-end solution. Probably the free 5GC. Okay, it's owned by Taiwan National Jiao Tong University. So right now this team is also team up with us very solid. So they provide 5GC. So for our solution, we have an integrated solution on Alpha the RAN and also the we service the 5GC. So we can provide end-to-end private 5G solution. Okay, so it's the background of this company. So right now they are not strong in release 15 and also working on release 16 for the TSN network. Okay, so next one. Okay, so right now I will brief the key stars, the company, including the Alpha and the Transnet. Then we also brief our product solution based on the private 5G. So right now we have some success story. This one is for the agriculture in Japan. So end-to-end solution. So all the radio solution provided by us, but for the 5G and the application provided our partner in Japan. So it's our success story in Japan. Okay, so already proved. So the next one. So it's also the next one is also the solution like in Japan is also our partner in Japan. They leverage our radio solution, then design the end-to-end solution for one of factory in Japan. But normally it's due to the NDA, so we cannot disclose the site. Okay, but it's already work there. Okay, the next one. So next one is hospital. So we in 2021, we finished the quite successful test in one of famous Taiwanese the hospital. We provide two services based on our the 5G solution. So for this case, all the product provided by us, so end to end. So it's quite successful. So that's why we already move from this POC, then we start to move to POS. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next one is the factory. This factory part, because I got so we can move the next page. You can see the Taiwan success. Okay, it's famous. It's one of this one. The Transnet was sponsored by the Taiwan government to do this POS. So right now we go to the field. It's purely the third-party company. Is for the power line and also the cable company. So in the south of Taiwan. So you can see on the right side is their campus. In the middle is in red is we are service the factory part. Okay, it's like a 170 meter and the wide is 23 meter. Okay, so we are going there to launch the POS our solution. Okay, the next one. Well, next one you can see we based on their factory, we provide the whole Taiwan's our own product to do the end-to-end service. So based on it is interesting. This company they are produce the cable, but for the test instrument they are quite heavy and they cannot difficult to move. If once they move, they need to do the cabling, but hard to do that due to the equipment is too heavy. So right now we are trying to have the mobile equipment, the production equipment to be allocated based on the order, because different cable order received, they probably need to recombine the production equipment. Based on this, they are difficult to learn to lay out the cable. So that's why we could provide the mobile connection based on the 5G technology to avoid like a Wi-Fi interference, to provide the high-end, high bandwidth for LAN. So right now we are providing this solution. So based on this, we have the end-to-end design and to set up to install a lot of the radio unit among the inside the factory. Yeah. So it's the picture. So please move the next page. So you see the design very complicated because we have from the GPS grandmaster front hole switch. So and also the cabling, optical, everything all provided by Transnet in order to have the complete environment for the service. Okay, so just share with you the Transnet right now. We are in charge of the end-to-end the design and also deployment and also provide service. Okay, so next page. So it's the last page. Okay, based on this, we are the selected by government to do this, also sponsored by the government, Taiwan government, from the POC, POS. So next stage, we are based on this success of POS. We start to do the POB, then we will go to abroad with our partner. Because for this case, we have another partner is Pioneer. They are doing the application service on top of our offered end-to-end 5G private solution. Yeah, it's an end-to-end. Is overall my presenting part. So if you have some issue about our product, probably you can contact me or through the AD. Then I will try to share all the success, the solution or product portfolio for you. Then we can someday we can go to some exhibition. Then exchange your idea. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric, for this great presentation. We learned a lot of practical solutions in the area of digital transformation. I think it was great. I suggest we continue with Mr. Eric Lin, who is the General Manager of Wistron Technologies, and particularly their division in Europe. That would be an interesting presentation. Please, Eric, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I want to check for understanding. Can you see my screen?
We are hearing loud and clear. We can see your presentation.
All right. Okay. So thank you, Dimi and Eddie, for giving us the opportunity to share the Wistron technology. And actually, that today I was addressed more from the Wistron check about the digital transformation and also sort of the product the Wistron is providing a solution. And at the same time, the sustainability is always also the ESG is everyone's kind of responsibility. So I will share about what we do here about in the Wistron check. Okay. So the Wistron check is actually established in the 2007. Actually, from now it's 15 years. And I'm actually the first group of person that travel to Brno, and you know, we build from empty factory, and now we are having the operation here. At this moment, we have two companies here, and today I address that I'm in charge of the operation of the Wistron check, which is focused on the value stream of the manufacturing part of our company here. At this moment, we have 500 employees up and down, and in general, it's 500 employees. But we have 4 customers, and we are building the data center business and also the server product. So we have 2 buildings. The building amounts to 66,000 square meters. So it's not that small, and you can see some of the facility from the screen here. And you know, I will not address too much about Brno today, but we are located in Brno, Czech Republic. I checked it between the Brno to Sofia, it's about precisely 1,000 kilometers. If we want to travel a day, we can arrive by drive or take a flight from Vienna. It's about 1.5 hours. And here from the Brno to the Vienna airport is 1.5 hours. You can keep in touch. So in case that you have further interest about us here, and welcome to pay us a visit here. And this is the Europe. Europe is quite beautiful, and it's a 4 season, so you can see the 4 colors: the winter, summer, spring, and autumn have a 4 colors. So this is apply also to Sofia. And here that Wistron check here is we have 2 buildings, and later I will show you some of the virtual factory, because to public we cannot show all the detail about customer information or product information. So I'll show you about some of the digital transformation use cases we are doing here, and also some activity of ESG sustainability, and even how we communicate with our employees here. So 2 buildings, the first one, D3, it's the 44,000 square meter, and where I am located, this is the manufacturing site. And next door, which is connected by tunnel, this is warehouse. Okay. And we are here since 2007. And actually the product, when I'm coming here, the first product we are having is the server. And now we are focusing also the server and also the rack integration, which is the data center business. And we are shipping actually the data center product. Later, maybe I will give you a live show from, because I'm actually calling from the production zone, so I can show you some of the information we are doing from far away. And this is the data center business we are doing now. And of course, I will also share with you some of the product plan we are having a possibility of a solution directly the build and shipping to fulfill the your market. Okay. And come back to talk about where Wistron Check actually is one subsidiary company of the Wistron Technology. And Wistron Technology actually we have a lot of product. I will not address that much about the product today. And in general we have over 100,000 employees across the world. And in Europe, the majority of our operation, or I should say the centralized of operation, is actually here in this building. And here we have 500 employees. So compared to the global footprint, we are quite small, but we are actually creating very high turnover rate and also a very high value added parts in this kind of last mile of the product to the customers. And also that we also provide in the rack integration business. We also provide in today we also address about the AI. And when we talk about the AI, the graphic card and graphic computing is quite important. So actually Wistron in this area it's already developed for a couple of years, and we have a great solution in this area which can support the AI. Okay. And this is our company headquartered in Taipei. And again, I will not address that much, but we are under the segment of a data center server, and also in the segment of the 5G and the AI, this segment. We are under the enterprise business group. And at the same time, we are also cooperating with our sister company, Winyin, who is shipping the product to the data center like Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon. And actually, it's actually doing here. Okay. And this is about, as I mentioned about that, for the AI, it's quite important for the graphic portion. And this is, we have a roadmap, and we are cooperating with a major solution provider, NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, and we have a full roadmap to provide the solution for the AI. So you can contact us or me, or actually I will refer you to our account management if you have more interest, but I will not address in the product that much here today. And for the 5G and the switches, as we also know that the 5G in the future is pretty important for the computer, and it's also important for the future digital transformation because of the frequency and also the less lag in this area. So for those connectivity of IoT, and inside a factory or no matter in the smart city, the 5G is quite important. And we are providing the switches and also the 5G product. So for detail, we will not address here, but you can contact me. And we come back to the applications, to the digital transformations that we all the time talk about the Industry 4.0. But in general, we actually mapping ourselves for a couple milestones. For example, that maybe 10 years ago, we start talking about the IoT and also the dashboard that the smart workplace we are promoting, for example, the BI, that to prevent the people are working, making a lot of computer and communication and generating a lot of data or something, instead that directly go to the business intelligence. And this area is well established in the operation here, which means that that will be shorten the communication and also the collaboration needs. You can get the information for management purpose underneath actually on the phone. You can actually have full overview of the operation. So this is actually already done. And now we are doing a lot of automation, but it's not today's subject. But we also now we are actually spending more time about exploring the possible application in the artificial intelligence. And one of which is the visual recognition in our process. For example, we are applying that in our manufacturing process to make sure the CPU, pin, and many areas can be figured out. But this is first thing. But From that point, with a penalty of data, the AI will be able to apply to do the further the prediction or something. And this is actually the roadmap we are following. And when we come closer to the company here, the wisdom check here, and we mapping ourselves here now, time frame is already 2022, and that majority of what we mentioned, IoT, this kind of stuff is actually pretty mature in our smart factory concept, which is a couple of years already here. And we are promoting actually last year and this year continue in the smart workplace that try to make every employee's value added can be higher instead of making a penalty of a communication. In reality, the communication is for the need of the decision making. So the smart workplace concept is actually well established here. And there are some solutions and there are some the in-house design solution. RPA is actually applied in our financial service and also in our logistic penalty of the invoicing something. So this is actually being done. And we are now, it's in the research, or they say the try to adopt the stage of the AI. And maybe I will share some of the use cases inside the factory and you will see. But for very much detail, due to the IP, I cannot address too much, but you will see the conceptual here. So this is, again, we come back to our factory. We have 2 buildings here at this moment. And maybe I will just go directly to virtualize our virtual factory here. And this virtual factory, the 3D model is actually also can be used by the VR and the MR. And I catch some of the end-to-end process for everyone's understanding what is the big box inside. And in the 2 buildings, as I say, that the first building, the right-hand side small building is the warehouse. And this warehouse that is actually connected with another building, which is D3. And this is the first part of the manufacturing area. It's the assembly of the standalone server before it go to the system integration, as you see the racks here. And then the rack integration finished that, you will enter the testing, and we actually establish the data center-like environment for do the validation of the data centers. And under here, actually, that there are a lot of the passport. There are a lot of the passport application for the digital transformations to apply in our process. And here it's a snapshot from the end-to-end I just shared with you. In the first part of the manufacturing side, it's a standalone assembly of a servers before its system integrate into the rack integration here. And here we apply what we apply. As I say that there are penalty of information, and between one, it's you have a huge system. We have a big system, everything. But when we come to the manufacturing management, that there are a lot of the KPI or some of the manufacturing index we are checking. Instead of asking that actually on the go, you actually get how it works now at this moment. And also that in the process, we also apply the microservice application. We have the in-house, the app store for WCG which apply from the process and this is actually the concept of digital transformation, because digital transformation is not make it the big trend. Actually, in coming to the daily life is that what you are facing in your operation and you don't feel comfortable, and that's a penalty of lousy information you are creating for your boss or your boss for your boss. This is not the organization we want here, and also we don't have people for that. So that digital transformation is also a platform where it's the users need meet with the developer and also the SME that sit down and explore what you need and actually develop the solution and what is the before and after, and that can be shown in the demo day for And also that I want to share for this kind of business here, the majority of we talk about ESG, environmental portion, is energy saving. Net zero is what everyone's responsibility. And what the fact is that in this kind of operation, the 68% of the energy is consumed in this about 200 square meter data center like testing area, because all the system integrated data center product need to go through the testing for over 10 hours, for example. So how it goes, and also the efficiency of the testing process, and also the eliminating of the waste, it becomes very important. So here we apply the PUE management that to real-time understanding the performance of this testing environment to preventing the penalty of the waste in the energy. As I say, 68% of the energy, is consumed in such a small corner. So that is pretty important, that as a focus of our ESG and the energy saving activity. That is a major focus. And also that they are, one racks of a system integrated product come with maybe 30 standalone server. And that, if you come with a panel laptop or the pad or something, you actually only have a two hand. So we also apply the VRM and also the gases that for the connecting with the information about the server and what the troubleshooting and the information when the technician is working inside the testing room. So this one need time to actually to make people used to the way of the new way of working, but actually gradually the people will understand what it for, and also that becoming a part of the behavior in terms of a digital twin. And digital twin concept is you go there, you know the information about that, and actually the on demand for your decision making. At the same time, we are promoting a smart factory. The smart factory, as I say, that the AI is part of which, but here I probably share some about the simulations. The simulations of the solutions, because you can try and error, but nowadays they are also very powerful simulation solution. So whenever we are applying some of the process change or actually new product introduction, the simulation can be do ahead, and actually we can make our process and the implementation of the resource in a proper way with data-driven decisions. And we also have a internal team which create a lot of the possible solutions. So the concept is that before the solution comes, the team is capable to design, simulate, and even illustrate what the solution get the support of the mentioned product. For example, this is one of the example I'm sharing, and this is already in the production line. But I want to address more here. It's maybe this screen. If you can see clearly that this is going through, this is production hall. Actually, I'm sitting just right next to the image file here. And here, this is data center like testing area. And there are a lot of IoT sensor and also the connection of information. And you can see that the core IO, hot IO, this kind of very important for the power utility performance. So 68% of our energy here. So if we can save 20% out of here, it's actually much more than how you switch on off your light in the office. So this is the top down. We actually run this business. We need to focus on. Come back to the ESG. Actually, digital transformation. It's digital for work, for the way of working. But come back to the point that we are all human beings, so and we are working under this environment. So I would say that the vision and address from the CEO, from the chairman, it's very focusing on the ESG and also addressing that. And we somehow do a lot of activity in the ESG area. We treat ourselves here. It's we are a Taiwan headquartered company, but we are also a European company. So we do a lot of the community activity here. And also that, as I mentioned, 68% of energy is consumed from the testing room. And how to save the electricity. And on the other side, how to utilize the wasted heated air, from the testing output. So we actually have a project to recycle the heat, and it's pretty cold. In Sofia and in Brno, we all know that we don't need air conditioning, but we need heating. So we are recycling the heat from the testing area to the warehouse to heat up the temperature to make it further comfort for our operator here. And at the same time, the heat is recycled. This is actually very important for the GHG scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. Okay, so maybe I will quickly share some of the activity here. And you can see it could be not that smooth, but you can see some image file. This is our building, and we actually have a yard, and every year we are having all the employee with family here. And we are, digital automation is not necessary only inside factories, also in our family day. And this is the only one Christmas market we have last year when Europe is suffering from the COVID. And we actually cannot have a Christmas party, so we make it a Christmas market inside the factory. And now I think that everywhere we are talking about shortage, including the manpower shortage. To take care of employees, we are actually forming our own kindergarten, the child of our employee that the society is also changing. So for the gender equality and also the inclusions of the employee, we also feel it's quite important that to give the equal accessibility for all of our employees, no matter from the race and gender or that their position, the skill set, operator, engineer, general manager, all the same. So that is actually quite important concept, and I think it's built in our company here. And coming back to here, this is the family and its sustainability. So this is one of, I cannot share many things here, but this is one of the sustainability we are addressing. And we are talking about digital transformation, and we are talking about artificial intelligence. But anyway, we are all human beings. So it's pretty important also come back to the original that you are working here with all the employee, and the employee, everyone may have their own competence, but we hope we should establish the diversity and inclusions for the organization, to the community. And due to the now not so peaceful in the world, we actually also inviting our Ukrainian employee here. We have 30 employees invited because of such a situation here, and they join us. So you can see that here in this photo, I want to address here, there are people from engineer. The black color is leadership, and the light blue is an operator. The yellow is a multiple skill operator, and the white is actually our staff office. And this is a concept we have, and actually the space where I'm sitting is actually in the center of production hall. So this is for the inclusion portion. We hope in this workplace that giving the equal accessibility for not only the office staff, because sometimes the conference room is far away from production line. So we want this kind of activity happening in the center of production. And also the management review, everything should be close to what you are talking about. So this is our concept here, and very important. It's connecting to the company's the concept, and we have a new core value. The new one of the addressing new parts or add in is a sustainability. So this is pretty important of value we are having here. And thank you, and thanks again here. It's and some of the photo of the wisdom check here. And maybe I also can take a chance to let you understand what I'm talking about. I'm actually sitting in the center of production. Now we are putting all of our conference or mid-press that inside the factory. And this is our room. And actually, this side you can see we are doing the system integration business. So red integration is there. And another side, in the end of that, you can see the testing the data center like infrastructures. And another side is access that it's for the standalone server. We say L10 assembly. And this is in the center of the manufacturing. So that's pretty important collaboration, because artificial intelligence, let's use that for the process for making our self easy. Then we give the time to let the people meet up and enjoy the work and life here. Okay, I think that is very much about what I want to share here today. And welcome to Bernard, welcome to Wisdom Check here. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Eric. That was an impression presentation. I really am impressed by the scale, both of your operations and your range of products. I think we are a little bit behind the schedule now. We'll try to be, I'm sorry, but everything is so interesting. I just cannot interrupt you presenting. I can see you have plenty of things to show. I suggest we continue with Dr. Luca Sarli from Italy, who is going to present us his company. It's a consultancy company with a very interesting scope of activities. Please, Dr. Luca Sarli, have the floor.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'll try to be fast. And I'm sharing you my presentation. So who we are? We are a cost analysis consultancy company founded in 2006 in Turin, and we are in Turin in the USA, and we are opening also in Morocco. What are our customers? As you can see, our target is on big company, but let me say that one of our goals is to intersect small and medium production companies, because they are the majority in the Italian market, and let me say that they are those who most need our help. I can show you our pillar, our activities. As you can see, we are totally cost focused. And what does it mean? It means that we have some activities about the should cost, the cost benchmark, the cost reduction, the cost tracking, and cost modeling. If you allow me, I'll show you what are these pillars, what means these pillars, and we can start with the should cost estimation, because as you can read, our core business is to provide to our customers technical cost estimation. With evaluation of different processes and materials, and with cost reduction ideas. So we provide a technical cost to our customers, also starting with benchmarking methods. What does it mean? It means that we support our customers in benchmarking activities, for example, in cost and performance comparison. So about this point, we organize workshop and tear down activities, and we are able to provide the technical cost of every single component of a product made by a competitor. And this is very important because after a benchmark activities, we provide also to our customers the cost reduction ideas and value optimization ideas. And we can provide to our customers a comparison between the costs and the performances. And our customers ask us also to be involved in the production life cycle, from the concept to the market release. And we have we must monitor the cost thanks to our system cost evaluators and our vehicle cost evaluators. And we can provide also, and we can design for our customers specific cost tools, for example, for plastic, for example, for batteries, for example, for metals. And we can, with this idea, we realize also our real-time cost tool that I will explain to you later. What are our results? What we can study? We can study the drawings, the 3 models. We can study the physical components. We merge this information with the manufacturing location, the volumes, and we provide to our customers detailed results that show them the final cost, the bill of material, the material cost, the manufacturing process cost, the investment cost, and the packaging and shipping cost. And this output is reached thanks to our databases. We have a very large databases, and and as you can see, we have a lot of machineries, a lot of materials, a lot of elaborate data. Let me say, this is the point. This is the point because our database is updated by us, by our engineers, but is a static database, and our cost analysis is a static cost analysis. And this is the key point of our R&D project, because after this pandemic period, after this inflation period, after the increase of material costs, we need to approach an idea of a real-time cost analysis. So a real-time cost analysis is more and more actual. And please let me present our R&D project about a real-time cost tool for industry. This is a R&D project made with Marelli and with Politecnico of Turin, especially with Professor Chiabert of Politecnico of Turin, that we thanks. And we started from a vision of cost, our vision of cost, because we approach a bottom-up cost vision that started from the field to approach the lean costing and the lean accounting. We are in the middle because our goal is to merge the field and the financial KPIs. We are exactly in the middle. And for this reason, we studied the economical and the financial relationships and the ways to provide this information with a single dashboard to all actors that are part of a production process. And as you can see, we started from the field, from the lean manufacturing input. From the field, we go up to an economic field, and we finish with the analysis of the value of the line. So we have three aspects: an aspect of the field, an economic aspect, and a financial aspect, a value aspect. What we studied, for example, in Marelli was our end user. What we study, what we do? Well, first of all, we understand the production process. Then we observe the production reality of the plant, paying particular attention to the relationship between machineries and products, balancing of the lines, and other aspects related to the sequential and production management control. Then we evaluated the possibility of connecting the company's management system. Then we evaluated the machines by inserting specific sensors, as you can see in my slide, on board, were not present, of course. And we studied efficient and effective data collection network from the hardware and software. So we also simulated the Marelli lines to have a new idea of a real-time system cost tool. And this is, let me say, the summarize of our ideas, because we adapted our cost analysis software based on quantity and availability of the information collected, and we tried to merge all the information from the field to our dashboard. So let me finish. Let me finish with this slide, because this is the point of our present and future project. We are at the end of our presentation, and here you can see our next ideas and our approach of real-time costing. To achieve our current result, we answered to two questions. The two questions are: how do I improve the competitiveness, and how do I check the value? And this is the actual project. So with our dashboard, with our dynamic databases, because now our database is updating from the field, we are able to provide KPIs lean manufacturing KPIs, and we are able to provide real-time cost analysis, and we are able to provide economic and financial KPIs. So we create our deliverable, which consists on this tool that merge and show to all actors on a production process the main KPIs of manufacturing, of cost, and of financial aspects. We have in our mind, we have a 2.0 project that need to answer to other two questions, to further questions. The questions are, how do I improve the company cash flow, and how do I track the quality and materials for their second life? So in our mind, the answer may come with the introduction of the blockchain on production lines. This, in our opinion, allows us to design smart contract to divide automatically payment and to check the quality of a product, and last but not least, to create a digital system, a digital passport that tracks all the components and material used, with the vision of being able to help the chain of the circular economy and of the second life. So please contact us for any further information about our activities, our cost activities, and our R&D project on real-time cost activities. And thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Luca. It was a great presentation again. It's always impressive to see the science working successfully for business, to improving business. And this is what you have done. And I admire that. It's really very impressive to see that. It's very rare, actually. Thank you so much for your presentation and for your participation here. I'm quite sure we stay in touch with all of you. And I suggest now we continue with Mr. Kalyan Karamitov from Gate Institute for Bulgaria. He's going to tell us something very interesting about the Twin City and what they are doing. It's also very tightly related with digital transformation. It's very interesting also. Please, Kalyan.
Hello, just confirm that you see and my screen and that you hear me.
Loud and clear. We can see you. We can see your screen also.
Okay, I will proceed. I'll also try to be short in order to fit into the time schedule. So I'm Kalyan Karamitov, City Living Lab Manager at the Gate Institute based in Sofia. So a little bit about us. We are the first big data center of excellence in Eastern Europe, and our project was selected out of 200, almost 300 projects, and we are only 14 projects that proceeded, and we are the only one based in Bulgaria. And we partner with the Chalmers University of Technology in Gothenburg in Sweden. So it's a collaboration between Sofia and between Bulgaria and Sweden for the development of this institute. Our main focus is research into the area of big data, with more focus on 4 main research areas that are the future cities, digital health, industry, and e-government. So these are our 4 main projects, and and under them we have various projects that smaller projects that lead to their development. So our main value proposition is to delve into methods and algorithms for data analysis, for big data analysis, for machine learning, and for AI to provide more insight for our partners and for our projects that we work on in the future cities, for example, or in the digital health. We also have big focus on developing skills into this machine learning and data manipulation and analysis, not also providing them, but also focusing on creating expertise into this area, and also spreading this expertise to our to our partners. And we have various experts. Some are lead researchers, some are seniors, some are early stage. So we try to combine these different levels of expertise to push towards knowledge, and also not only results in the research, but also knowledge and general interest into the data field and how the data can be used to solve different problems. We are partnering with different associations and clusters to exchange the knowledge that we gather, or to provide some insights that are resulted from our research, and vice versa. If somebody from our partner network has achieved some insights that would be useful into our research, we take them into account with us. So the big areas is, as I mentioned, is the data analytics, the data insight, the management, and data engineering, and the current active application. As I said, we started with 4 future cities: digital health, e-government, and industry. But we started now with the future cities and the digital health. The other 2 are under development and structuring the whole process. But another main topic emerged from the last months, and this is the disinformation. Everybody here is well informed the big impact that the disinformation, the spread of information is having into our society. So this is something that we also started to work on, including the natural language processings and getting data semantics from various sources and so on. And it's worth to mention that gathering data is something that we are actually doing. We started the City Living Club in Sofia, in one district in Sofia, with the aim to track the mobility, mainly focused on the active mobility, walking, cycling, and scootering, gathering data about the air quality or the temperature, the humidity, and other environment, with the aim to also monitor the buildings. And we'll start with our building that is now under construction. So we installed various sensors into our building, so we could track the activities, the energy efficiency, and all the resource management, the resources that are used. And we are working on integrating this building innovation model that will create into our building with the city information model that we are working on under the future cities direction. So this is the district. As I said, we have various stations that are, part of them are already installed. The other sensors will be installed in the next 1 or 2 months. And another activity that is worth to mention is that we established a partnership with NATO's accelerator, actually the Defense Innovation Accelerator of NATO, and we were selected to be a test center for this accelerator in order to help with our capacity of 3D modeling, to help simulate different exercises, and to simulate different various real-world situations, and also to help fight the disinformation that is happening currently in Europe. Data spaces is another topic that we are working on now, and just to clarify, this as a concept is not a data storage, is not a server to host or store data from different providers. It is more of a various services and network interchange capabilities by providing this space, various various data providers could exchange easily data by keeping them into their own servers, but using protocols or different opportunities to exchange the data with the other actors that are into this data space, and this is helpful for to reach the different businesses and government and the municipalities, especially in Sofia, and include them into this data space to set the data standards that are needed for the different actors into this data space in order to everybody to get more insight or see what the other stakeholders have as a data, and if this could be helpful to the others. So this is something that we are now including more and more stakeholders into the data space that we are participating in. It's something that we partnered with as the data space. We are part of the European Digital Innovation Hub for data, so we are getting more involved with the broader network outside of Bulgaria into Europe, and maybe not only Europe. And as I said, one of our projects is under the umbrella of the future cities is to develop digital twin of Sofia, and the data space is helpful to organize all of the data that we need in order to replicate as closely as possible the real world city of the Bulgarian capital. And maybe you have experience with this kind of projects, but just to mention, the main idea is to have the different objects like buildings, infrastructure, and attributes into a GIS environment, and also to have analysis and simulations that could foresee different scenarios of development of the city, which is would be greatly helpful for the urban planners and the decision makers. And it's needless to say why it's important to design first. Everybody knows that the physical infrastructure is extremely expensive and has an impact on the citizens for many years ahead. So it's better to try to model it first in a digital environment before actually starting to construct anything into the city. And we started with a 3D model of the district of Lozenets, which is the district that we installed the sensors, and the district where our new building is located. And to scale down and to show you a few projects that we are working on as a research team. One of them is this generative design planning part of the digital twin is trying to, according to various indicators for a single neighborhood, to assess the areas, the empty areas that are into this neighborhood, and what is their what is the best functions that these empty areas could be developed there in order to achieve more to achieve better quality of life for the citizens living there. And I'm not going into detail, but we are also trying to parameterize different legal frameworks for placing buildings in order to guarantee the best location into the plot and between the different buildings to secure some restrictions and requirements for quality of life and quality of the environment. And another topic that we helped the municipality of Sofia is to analyze the shortage of kindergartens in Sofia. We used graph modeling to calculate the population, actually the population in the age of for kindergartens, like the children, and to place this into walking distance in the network from the residential building to the kindergarten, in order to calculate the capacity of every single kindergarten based on the demand of the residential building surrounding it. So this is something that we are partnering as a research team with the municipality. So we are providing them with this information, and they're basing the next few years planning of opening new kindergartens based on our analysis. So that's from my part. Thank you for having me here, and it was great to hear the other presentations. And let's move on to the next one.
Thank you so much, Kaloyan. I think it was impressive also. All these new sciences applied for facilitating our lives. That's really impressive. Really, I'm impressive. I'm definitely hope we're going to continue our relation in that area. So there is one more Bulgarian company which is called Digital, and we are waiting for Mr. Pavel Yosifov, who is Director Cybersecurity Products, to present us his company. So please, Pavel, go ahead, and you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. First of all, can you hear me well?
Loud and clear. We can see you. We can see your presentation.
Perfect. Thank you very much to all of you who stayed till the end. Very interesting presentations so far. Thanks for staying. I hope I don't disappoint you. I'll do my best for the next few minutes. I'll try to be a bit shorter than I planned. I will present as my role suggests, I'm responsible for the products in the cybersecurity space that we develop within Digital. And I will share some information with you. But before that, clearly, obviously, I need to comply with our corporate policies, and I need to tell you a bit more about the company itself. So bear with me for several minutes to go through these. Now, Digital, as the name suggests, stands for digitalization. And this company is, I'm part of the company for the last 3 years, is focusing a lot on digitalization and helping customers actually do or reach the benefits that the digitalization projects can actually provide in every aspect, including business, including technical, and my area, of course, the cybersecurity area. So our mission is to be the trusted advisor for our customers, how to actually create their digital processes in an optimized and secured way. I'm going to share a few awards. Again, we're really proud of these. I'm not going to go in details. We have some presence here and there, basically trying to go worldwide. For now, mostly in Europe, where we're focused, but we also have presence in North America and Canada. I mean, Canada and the US. Let me talk a bit about why digitalization needs security, because I heard a lot today talking about data, which is absolutely why digitalization is needed and why we need so much things like big data and AI in order to process the amounts of data we generate and we store and make information out of that data, so usable and meaningful information. But the digitalization projects, they pose another complexity, I must say. First of all, when all data is becoming digital, we are broadening the attack surface that malicious actors are using. And we need to take care about this. Nowadays, I think it's no secret to anyone that we can no longer treat security separately. You know, now the security topics at the end. This used to be the case for most businesses for the last years. But honestly speaking, I think it's absolutely clear that we cannot continue like that. And the security aspect needs to be taken into consideration during the digitalization project, not after it. This is driven also about a lot of through a lot of regulations nowadays. I'm not going to quote all of them. You know some of them, I'm sure. Maybe the most popular one is the data privacy, the GDPR regulation, at least in Europe. I'm sure there are similar regulations in the other regions, which basically force companies to really take care about security. It's also about the higher attack intensity. All the researches show, and especially in the last several months, that the intensity of the attacks is increasing a lot. And this is driven by the fact that malicious actors are being funded much better nowadays. In fact, some researchers suggest that they're much better funded than the people trying to defend data and information, which makes it really hard for all of us to handle this, because it's not simple. It's very complicated. I saw some of the companies presenting today, how big they are, how complex they are, and yeah, it's not easy to protect something like that. So a lot of companies are struggling with that, and we are there to help them with consultancy, with products, with whatever needed. I'll jump to that in a minute. But also in favor of speed, we also tend to neglect some security aspects, and not only security, also quality sometimes, of course, because business nowadays is very dynamic. You know, you're first or dead, more or less. So in order to be first, we sometimes neglect the information security, which leaves another aspect and another gap. And again, as I mentioned, recently, priority-wise, this was not considered such a high priority. This is changing, I have to admit, in the last 5, 6, 7 years. And this also brings a lot of demand from customers because they're not ready for that, bringing that priority higher. And the other thing that I purely and personally believe is something that really drives that additionally is the fact that we have gone global with all those social media and everything, that we have access to all kinds of information nowadays. For people that are interested in that, you can find breaches and security problems in so many companies all over the world, which makes it really accessible, and it really hurts the reputation of those companies. So all of these put together actually suggest that we as people, as experts, we need to make sure that during the digitalization phase of a process, of a business process, we take into consideration security seriously. Otherwise, typically it's far too late. So let me tell you a few words about what digital is doing in that area. Before jumping into this, I just want to mention that we are focusing our efforts on an industry basis. So in order to help customers really adopt digitalization, you have to understand certain business processes, you have to understand certain businesses, you have to know how it works and how it could work better. And that's why it's not here on these slides. We don't have time to go through that today, unfortunately, but our offerings are focused on industries, which helps us be more relevant to what customers need. Cybersecurity, as you can imagine, probably is kind of a horizontal topic. There is no company that doesn't really touched by the cybersecurity aspect. So I'm not going to talk in industries today. And in a very few minutes, I'm going to walk you through what customers can expect from us, how we help organizations in that aspect. So first of all, we understand clearly that it's not just about us. So any company alone cannot cover everything. Any company alone cannot handle the complexity of what I just described. So that's why we have some strong partnerships with some leading companies in this area. I don't want to go into names because I'm going to miss someone. We have a very detailed slide about these things that I'm not going to show today, but we can provide with afterwards. But the fact is, we partner with others to achieve and help more our customers better protect themselves. The 4, let's say, pillars or areas we focus on is clearly one of the, when you create a link between 2 pieces, the weakest point in this new piece is the link itself. When you create a link between the analog world and the digital world, the weakest point is the link between those two. And this is where we're focusing on. And human beings, I heard Eric saying a lot about, I think, or Luca, no, it was Eric saying a lot about we're humans. Yes, we are. We're humans. We're making mistakes. We're sometimes lacking some knowledge. We're lacking some understanding and awareness. And we are focusing as a company in our product portfolio to address this segment, this aspect, to help people communicate securely, whether this is email, whether this is the so modern nowadays collaboration platforms. Here we're using one of them today. So these are becoming more and more relevant. We're exchanging more and more data. I saw one of the slides suggesting that from the manufacturing, we're pushing information to SharePoint and Teams so people can collaborate easier. And we are storing more and more and more critical and important data in these platforms nowadays. And all of them, as I'm sure you know, cloud platforms, which means we need to take even further caution when we do that. And this is where we're focusing with our product portfolio. On top of this, as experts, we want to bear our responsibility in educating people. I think one of the most important things in the cybersecurity space is that we don't keep knowledge internally. We have to spread knowledge as much as possible. And the security awareness topic is something we really believe in. People should know more. People should know how they should protect themselves alone, even without corporate need. Let me give you a quick example. In kindergarten, we teach children how to walk in the streets, how to be prepared when a car comes, when to cross, etc. We don't do that even in university about cybersecurity risks and threats that we face on a daily basis. So by doing this inside corporations, we're also doing this inside the community because all people share that knowledge and transfer it at home in their daily life and personal engagements. And security is nothing without visibility. What it means is nowadays it's thinking that you have done something to protect yourself and that's enough. That's no longer enough for many, many years. If I may make an analog about this, security operations and incident response, it's like video surveillance in the physical world. You have some fences, you have some protections and locks and stuff, but you also need to put some real-time video surveillance to see if anything is coming as a risk and address it. And we're doing that for customers as well. And of course, we also help customers in any other aspects of consulting that they may need. Now, with this, I want to stop this, and I'm going to jump very quickly to give you a glimpse of one of the technologies that we're developing. This is called IQ Suite Cloud. This is what I've been talking about in our product space, that we are creating a technology. It actually is a blend of two technologies, one that we have had for many years in the email security space that is doing a lot of optimization and security stuff on email traffic. Now we're extending all this to the collaboration stack, to the likes of Teams, SharePoint and OneDrive, so we can have a better control. Right now, most of us lack the control. We are relying on the companies like Zoom and Microsoft and Google to protect our data, which according to most of the regulations is not good enough for us. And I think most of the CISOs understand that and addressing that. I'm not going to jump into details about the technicalities because we're doing content analysis, we're doing malware analysis, we're doing encryption when the content requires it. We're doing a lot of things. Also nowadays, developing most of these to adopt machine learning algorithms and AI. But I don't have the time to walk you through all of this today, guys. I just wanted to show you a glimpse. Our understanding and our goal is to create the platform, to provide customers with a platform that is secure, that is easy and quick to start using, and it gives transparency and control over their data. And with this, I would like to thank you. I hope I have been able to catch up at least a little bit. I tried to speak as quickly as I could. Thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure and an honor to talk to you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pavel. That was another wonderful presentation. I think today we heard plenty about the use of digital transformation in our lives and the necessity of it. So I think we are quite ahead with time, and About questions, I suggest we leave it. We're going to leave all the contacts of the lecturer to our site. So if anyone wants to ask questions, they can contact directly the speakers. So this record of the webinar is going to be uploaded in a couple of days on our site, together with the presentations and the contacts of the presenters. So if anyone wants to get in touch with any other, you can do that. Of course, we are always here. If anyone wants to contact any other company from the other side, you just let us know. We're going to establish that contact. That's why we're here. And I also would like to tell you one more time about that business mission that we prepare for Taiwan. It's not very clear because the pandemic conditions there are quite severe. They're very different from Europe, but we expect that is going to be loosened so we can go there. If anyone wants to join this mission, we're going to prepare another webinar. We're going to let you know about that. We hope to see our Taiwanese partner in person in a few months' time. Let's hope so. So with that, I suggest we close today's webinar. I think it was very fruitful one. We heard a lot of new things in the area of digital transformation. Thank you so much to any one of you who joined us. I want to apologize one more time about the delay we experienced, but it's always, when there are many people and there is this lag that accumulate with time. So one more time, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you one more time in our next events. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy your weekend. Yeah, bye-bye from me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.